everybody, my name is Olivia. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing great because I am doing great. So today we have a very interesting topic to talk about. Signs that show that it is time for you to move on from that relationship. What are those signs that show it is time for you to move on from that relationship and take care of yourself? Without taking much of your time, number one, the other party is given a mixed signal. Just know that anytime you try to get close to that your partner and he or she shies away, then when you try to move on, he or she suddenly tries to get closer. You can imagine such confusing behavior and such conflicting action. Then in this state of confusion, you'll be asking yourself, what are you going to do? It is better for you to move on with your life and stop hoping that it's going to be okay. Number two, the truth hurts. Sometimes the truth is more than what we can take. So to make things easier, we continue to live in a false reality. You see some people returning to their exes that treated them badly or cheated on them in the past. They feel it is much easier to believe in the fate of their exes than admit to themselves that their partner doesn't treasure that relationship anymore. Number three, you don't believe you can find someone better than that person in that relationship. Even though we meet new people, you cannot find someone who matches up with that your ex. Have you ever asked yourself, what if there is no one like that your ex, like that your partner out there? Of course, I know it is even hard for you to think about that. I think a lot of people choose to hang on because they are afraid. They felt they cannot find that kind of person in the future. The fear of being alone drives them to cling on even when all seems lost. Number four, when that relationship brings you more pains than joy. Sometimes some people tend to be blinded by the past happy moments of that relationship, to the extent they forget all the unhappiness that relationship brings. If that relationship keeps you unhappy all the time, frustrated and upset, or if that relationship always keeps you to tears all the time, perhaps it might not be the right person for you. The relationship that you are in now should be the one that brings you joy and happiness. Number five, he or she expects you to change. The best part of love is the one that is unconditional. That partner shouldn't expect you to change unless it is your well-being. When that partner always insists that you have to change in that relationship, just know that the issue there isn't about you. The issue is his or her expectations for you to change. You really need to move on with your life because that is the first step for him or her trying to remold you in that relationship just for his or her selfish reasons. Number six, when you keep justifying his or her actions to yourself. Whenever you experience the situation you are uncomfortable in that relationship, you try to come up with an explanation to justify that situation. That alone shows that you are uncomfortable in that relationship. The danger behind this is that the explanation is self-created or may not be true. If you are repeatedly justified by his or her actions, the relationship will now be built on your rationalization rather than reality. So for you to see the reality of that relationship the way it is, see the actions as they are and let them speak for themselves. It is said that actions ultimately speaks louder than words. Number 7, when that partner always causing you emotional, physical, and verbal hurts. Physical and verbal abuse is a no-no in a relationship. There is something wrong if the other party abuses at you, no matter how he or she tries to make it up with you later. Even if it will be at the spur of the moment, the fact that he or she slipped in that moment shows that there is something deep inside that needs to be addressed. Emotional hurt is thicker. A lot of people neglect emotional hurt because it is not visible. Just know that emotional hurt is the worst. The wound is the hardest thing to heal in every relationship. The truth is that if he or she can't take care of you properly, just know that he or she is not the right person for you. So it is time for you to move on and take care of yourself. Number 8, when that same abusive situation keep occurring and occurring, even though you tried addressing it. Just remember the old saying that says, once bitten, twice shy. Though you might try giving another chance, but the third situation is a clear sign that something is wrong in that relationship. Do you always find yourself in a repair mode in that relationship? Do you keep landing in the same situation, the same scenario, the same outcome, time and time again, no matter what you do? If so, it is high time for you to apply self-love, because both of you cannot address one issue intelligently. Number 9, he or she puts little or no effort in that relationship. Every relationship requires effort from both parties. The same applies to families, friendships, mentorship, and most definitely, love. If you are the only one constantly putting effort in that relationship, sooner than later, it will drain you. You have to give more and more and more to keep that relationship afloat. Unless the imbalance in this relationship is addressed, it will only become bigger and bigger over the time. Soon, you sink your whole self into it, losing your self-identity in the process. For me, I think all of us deserve partners that will cherish and treasure us beautifully and always want to be with us no matter what. If that partner is not making any effort in that relationship, the best thing for you is to love yourself and move on with your life. Number 10, when the fundamental values and beliefs are different. For any relationship to work, there has to be a fundamental values between both parties. Similarities in these values are the big rocks in that relationship which will hold the friendship in place. Even if other things are dissimilar, those values will enable the relationship to flourish, even though that relationship is passing through the toughest storm. On the other hand, if your core values are fundamentally different, it doesn't even matter if every other thing are the same. The journey to keep that relationship together will only become an uphill battle. I believe that the only important thing in your life is for you to be true to yourself. Though it is possible for both of you to start off in the same values, over the time there will be changes. Maybe he or she grew to become a different person in that relationship, or maybe you did, or both of you changed. This change may affect you people's fundamental values and causing issues in that relationship. So the best thing is for you guys to Either address the issue or move on with your lives. So when you see this type of thing in your relationship, always know that it's time for you to move on from that relationship and take care of yourself. My conclusion in this topic is that there are things that we never want to let go of, people who we never want to leave behind. But just know that letting go isn't the end of the world. It is the beginning of a new life. So that is where we are going to come to the end of today's topic. Let's take the points again. Number 1, the other partner is giving mixed signal. Number 2, the truth hurts in that relationship. Number 3, you don't believe you can find someone like him or her. Number 4, when that relationship brings you more pains than joy. Number 5, he or she expects you to change. Number 6, when you keep justifying his or her actions to yourself. Number 7, when that partner is always giving you emotional and physical and verbal hurt. Number 8, when that same abusive situation keeps occurring and occurring even though you have addressed it. Number 9, he or she puts little or no effort in that relationship. Number 10, when the fundamental values and beliefs are different in that relationship. So that is where we are going to come to the end of today's topic. Just remember, as I'm speaking to you, I'm equally listening to myself and we are learning together. So please like, share, and subscribe. Subscription is just free. I love you guys. Bye.